Dave and Darren's Top 5 Things podcast. Nacho radio production. Very excited to share these next top 5 things with you. They're the toppermost of the poppermost, Johnny.
Where are we going?
The toppermost of the poppermost.
You ridiculous man.
Yeah, he's almost, I think, is it next week? He'll be dead longer than he was alive?
Well, not quite. Close, because he was a little over 40 when he died.
Yeah.
And the 40th anniversary of his death is Tuesday.
Did I ever
40 years.
Did I ever tell you my father-in-law story about John Lennon? Father-in-law's a big Beatle fan, and he was living in Florida. He still lives in Florida. He had an apartment at the time, and John Lennon was assassinated in New York City.
Yeah.
And this was, you didn't find out things until you turned on the news.
Right.
Maybe somebody would say something to you in the street or
Or
something.
on the radio.
Yeah, right. He hadn't heard anything. And when he got home from work that day, a goldfish, he had two goldfish. One was named John and one was named Yoko. Okay. And he got home, and John had jumped out of the tank while he was at work and was dead.
Huh.
And he swears he knew at that moment that
That's
the real John Lennon was also dead. And he turned on the TV, and there was Frank Reynolds to confirm it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, my God, John Lennon is dead. I bet this means the real John Lennon is dead.
Let's take a look.
Turned on the TV, and yeah.
Wow, that guy needs to play the lottery.
If he could have kept that goldfish alive, we'd be living in a very different reality.
Larry's Guppies used to predict, little Dave Lavora used to predict earthquakes.
I forgot there was a guppy named Little Dave Lavora. I forgot that he had that power.
Yeah, and that guppy could predict earthquakes and tsunamis and such.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad some version of Dave Lavora is able to predict something. Really hope you enjoyed today's podcast. We've got what we feel are 5 really solid entries that we want you to hear. We'll get to that. But first, we need to thank Nature's Treatment of Illinois for making it possible.
Yep, they're our sponsor for the podcast. They have 2 locations, Tech Drive in Milan and West Main Street in Galesburg. The Milan store offers both medicinal and recreational. Galesburg is recreational only. Nature's Treatment offers a wide selection of products for recreational use, including flower, vapes, and edibles. Sign up for the newsletter and connect with Nature's Treatment on Twitter and Instagram.
Let's get into it.
Number one.
Number one.
There's a story here of a bodybuilder who has fallen in love and gotten married. Yuri Tolochko.
Let me guess. Let me guess. He's marrying one of his muscles.
That's not bad. And that would make a little bit more sense. Well, look, do your thing.
I married my deltoid.
There's been a whirlwind romance during the coronavirus lockdown, and this bodybuilder has gotten married to his sex doll. Yuri
Okay, I was
Tolochko.
close. Mine makes more sense.
Bodybuilder got married to his sex doll after, again, what's described here as a whirlwind romance during the coronavirus lockdown.
Why would you do that?
Marry a sex doll? I don't know. She was dressed in a flowing white gown.
Wouldn't you want to keep that relationship kind of free and easy?
I would think if I did have a sex doll, I would insist on an open relationship.
Right.
In case an actual person wanted to also have sex with me.
You know what we're going to do for our anniversary, sweetheart? We're going to the car wash.
Consider yourself zing.
The zing of the day.
Yeah.
And you're sitting on a roof.
Yeah, no, you're in the back of the pickup.
Yuri Tolochko said his I do's alongside sex doll Margot.
I like the name.
Do you name your sex doll, or do they come with a name? Is it like a Cabbage Patch doll?
Huh.
Because I would think I would prefer...
Do they have that? Do they have Cabbage Patch sex dolls?
Well, that's what these things are, essentially, right?
Beanie Baby sex dolls?
I don't think that's a thing.
Oh, I want to be...
I don't think you do. Dressed in a flowing white gown and clutching a bunch of flowers for the ceremony, Yuri says here...
Oh, my God. There has to be a market out there for... Oh, Lord.
Wedding planners for people that want to marry their sex dolls?
No, like Looney Tune sex dolls. Cartoon character sex dolls.
So like Bugs Bunny when he's dressed as a woman?
Yes. I mean, clearly, if I thought of it, it's already been thought. Elmer Fudd? Yosemite Sam? Oh, brother. This changes everything.
The Looney Tunes sex dolls.
Tweety Bird?
Nobody. Well, come on.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh.
Well, goodbye.
Oh, no.
And don't think it hasn't been a little slice of heaven.
Oh, no. We've cracked the code.
I don't think that's a thing, Darren,
Well,
but it probably could be.
Well, you know, these McFlurries or whatever they're called that they're into.
You mean furry,
Furries.
not McFlurry.
McFlurries. No, that's from whatchamacallit, Back to the Future.
No, that's McFly.
What am I thinking of?
McFlurry is a dessert at McDonald's.
Oh, that's Ronald McDonald sex doll. Oh, no. Hamburglar. Oh, no.
I can't wait. I put on my deposit and I got a
no.
notification that they're shipping. Yosemite Sam should be here any minute.
Oh, no. Rootin' tootin'.
He's going to blow me to smithereens.
Oh, he is going to blow me to smithereens. That's the ultimate zing.
The ultimate zing.
Oh,
No.
Oh, we've uncovered it.
I don't think this is really a thing, though.
Oh, the News Hour investigates.
Looney Tunes sex dolls.
Oh.
So long, Screwy. See you in St. Louis.
Oh, no.
You've ruined Bugs Bunny now.
Oh, I think I've ruined everything. I didn't start this.
No. Bodybuilder Yuri Tolochko started this.
Oh, brother.
The story says that Yuri looked every bit the perfect groom, and the couple went on to share a romantic first dance in front of dozens of guests who attended the wedding there in Kazakhstan. Yuri identifies as pansexual.
What?
Pansexual, which does not mean
Pansexual
pansexual is not a thing.
Pansexual? Is that
I make love to the Little Caesars mascot.
right.
He identifies as pansexual, and he shared moments from his big day getting married to his sex doll on his Instagram page. One caption reads, "It's happened, to be continued." And then he slips a ring on his bride's plastic finger. They got engaged December last year, but Yuri says the romance really blossomed during the 2020 lockdown.
Congratulate me, boys. I'm engaged. Oh, no, you're not.
He describes himself on Instagram as a sexy maniac, and he shares images of the couple's romantic lifestyle.
Well, you got it half right.
Here's one where they're cozying up in the bath. Another has them
Look,
here.
she floats. What do you do? I mean, sex dolls in a pool. You think he takes her into the pool?
I think he does everything with her. Here they are snuggling in bed.
Here we are, a day at the beach.
In one post, he writes, "Couples need to talk less and connect more." Yeah, if you want a bride who talks less, get yourself a sex doll bride. That's a good idea. Your partner deserves the best. Make sure they do their part, he writes here in another. He says,
I finally caught the Roadrunner.
"With time and experience, Margot and I realized it takes more than words to have a conversation." He says that he rescued her at a nightclub. She was getting unwanted attention, and he stepped in and rescued her. Coronavirus delayed their original wedding plans. He was supposed to get married to this thing in March. And then a second planned wedding day was also halted.
Typically, you meet him in an adult bookstore.
He says of his relationship, our story turns me on much more than the sex itself.
Yeah, like our backstory.
He also says here, I love being tortured. I can endure quite a bit of pain. I love to dominate too. Margot is capable of what other people are not capable of. How are you getting tortured by a sex doll?
Oh, we are the boys of the chorus. We hope you like our show. We know you're rooting for us, but now we have to go.
You don't want to know where we're going either.
Rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season. Kazakhstan, the wedding could legally be held as both partners were considered consenting male and females, and they're over the age of 18. Yuri previously revealed how he decided to book his sex doll Margot in for plastic surgery earlier
Literally.
this year. He says, when I presented her photo to the world, there was a lot of criticism and she began to develop a complex, so we decided to have plastic surgery. She's changed a lot. At first, it was hard to accept, but I got used to it later on. It was a real clinic with real doctors. You bring your sex doll to a plastic surgeon? Yeah, no, this will be easy. I hope they gave this dummy a bill for like a lot of anesthesia and stuff. Oh yeah, no, we gave her the whole thing.
He's in the waiting room and he just hears something pop.
You get your sex doll plastic surgery,
Margot!
or do you just throw her out and get another sex doll? Oh, wow. Well,
A lot to take in.
wish them the best. They seem like
I think we know things now that we cannot unknow.
seems like they really got things figured out.
Oh, well, I tell you what, though. I've seen worse.
Two.
Are you familiar with the work of model Marissa Pappen?
No.
Marissa Pappen is a Playboy model, apparently. 26-year-old Playboy model, or I'm sorry, 28. Here she is fully clothed, Darren, because we're at work. Her nude photographs are causing outrage around the world.
For what reason?
Well, her gimmick is she gets naked and then she goes deep sea diving with man-eating sharks.
Huh.
Diving naked off the coast of Hawaii.
Chumming.
Yeah. Getting up close and personal with terrifying marine predators.
Huh.
There she is, Darren, swimming around naked with these.
Oh, it's very fetching.
Yeah, it's. This is in black and white, so you know it's classy, right? This doesn't look like. I mean, look at that. That's can't really see anything other than a naked lady and a
Oh,
shark.
they're just both swimming.
It's black and white, exactly, and they're both just as God made them. This Belgian model says she puts her life on the line to challenge taboos, Darren, surrounding sharks as well as nudity.
Huh.
My job is to remove the taboos from sharks and nudity.
Naked sharks.
Well, yeah, all sharks are naked.
Yeah.
Made headlines around the world. She got imprisoned for posing nude at a temple complex in Egypt. The Karnak Temple Complex, it's called. Karnak.
Well, she would probably...
A naked lady, a shark.
Sis boom ba.
She's also gotten naked at the Vatican, the Western Wall in Jerusalem, and at a mosque in Istanbul. This shocking shark shoot took place off the island of Oahu.
What is cold turkey?
She says these risky photographs were far more frightening. She was much more afraid when she got naked in Istanbul or
sure.
Jerusalem than she did when she was face to face, naked, swimming around with these sharks.
That makes sense.
She wants to challenge the taboos surrounding sharks as well as nudity.
Now, how often is she in Playboy?
Well, it says
was-
Playboy model. I guess you're in Playboy once, right? They don't use the same people over
But
the
I
same
mean,
girls.
but
over
if
and
she's
over
doing
again.
different photos with in different situations,
I don't know.
I didn't know that Playboy had nude photos anymore.
They brought those back.
They brought it back.
Yeah, for a while they got rid of them. Hefner's kids took over and were like, "Here's what we're gonna do: get rid of all these naked ladies."
Then they got haunted by the ghost of Hugh Hefner, telling him that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I'm dead.
What's weird too is his ghost wears a shirt and tie and pants. It's weird. Probably buried him in the pajamas, right? You would think. She says getting naked and swimming with these sharks was, quote, one of the most peaceful experiences of my life. Being in their presence, I felt complete serenity. People asked me if I was scared, but actually I was not scared at all. They were Galapagos sharks. There were also a couple of reef sharks around and one tiger shark that swam up to us. We didn't get to photograph him, though. He was in and out.
If you'll have it.
I don't judge. Pepin says she's hoping to challenge taboos by making people rethink their ideas about nudity and their ideas about sharks. Sure.
As to swimming with bow-legged women.
Right. I had a feeling he'd be making an appearance during this segment.
Yeah, you'd be good at that.
Quote, the message is all about breaking stigmas and taboos. Nudity is seen as bad in our society, and so are sharks.
Sounds to me like she just likes saying the word taboo.
Over the years, sharks have gained a bad reputation because of the film industry. I wanted to challenge viewers by looking at these magnificent creatures with a different eye. And by that eye, I mean...
I remember seeing the word taboo in print when I was a child and being like, okay, I don't understand what's going on here, but it's intriguing. What is this taboo business?
How do you prepare mentally for being nude in the water with sharks? She says, before I jumped off the boat, I was meditating and preparing myself to tap into their energy. I had no clue what that would feel like since I'd never swum with them before. I wasn't going to wear any goggles because I didn't want to be able to read their movements. I just had to trust that I would be okay. After a couple of dives, I realized that their energy is actually so subtle that they are so at one with the ocean. I could barely feel their vibration.
Well, yeah. Have you ever seen a shark swimming in the water? There's
Yeah.
not a lot of thrashing around until they're eating you.
What the hell's going on? What's going on with this water? Oh, this is unexpected. I've only spent my entire existence in the water. What the heck? No, the sharks don't eat you because they're stressed out about being in the ocean. They eat you because you're hungry.
No, they're hungry, not you. It doesn't matter if you're hungry.
They hear your stomach rumbling. Don't you know that, Darren? That's how they get you. That's why they say you have to eat a lot before you go in the ocean. After a couple of dives, I realized their energy is actually so subtle. They are so at one with the ocean, I could barely feel their vibration. We dived around 20 times in the span of around 45 minutes. We didn't want to bother them too long.
Is that what they tell you when you go to Florida, that you should eat a lot before you go in the ocean?
Oh, yeah. They're like, make sure you eat before you go in the ocean or you'll step on a jellyfish. Like, oh, I didn't realize that was a thing. Yeah. Hot dogs are $9 a piece. Okay.
Do they really have hot dog stands on the beach?
No, they don't. I wish they did.
Oh, boy.
Images of this model swimming naked with the sharks used for her Earth family calendar, which she says will show an intertwining of two completely different worlds coexisting in harmony.
Well, we do need a 2021 calendar.
This would work. She says, I'm inspired by everything I observe in nature, and being in my natural state makes it so much easier to connect with the natural elements. I'm driven by a will for a better planet.
As to swimming with bow-legged women.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
I'm driven by a will.
We got you.
Gotcha, Quint. Loud and clear. I'm driven by a will for a better planet, one of unity, equality, and beauty.
Why is it, to me, it sounds like the penguin.
Quint sounds like the penguin?
Yeah, play it again. It sounds more like
Burgess Meredith?
Yeah.
Yes, to swimming with bow-legged women.
Huh?
Get me the Batman. Well, he's drunk there. In that, he's drunk there. Here she is skiing topless in France.
Yes. Oh, that looks refreshing.
It does look refreshing. Yeah. If I were a shark, I wouldn't mind this dingbat swimming around me. I think I'd be okay with it.
Well, if I was her, I'd be running around naked too.
Yeah, no. She's obviously someone who...
She must work out.
Yeah, I think she makes a living doing this, and I could see why. She's very attractive. Here she is posing naked with a camel. She shaved her head, and only her head, apparently, and she's naked with a camel in Egypt. She got arrested after that photo shoot.
Look at the two humps.
On the camel.
What?
Yes. Well,
it's just marvelous.
Yeah. Well, should I look into getting one of these calendars?
I've never enjoyed nature so much.
Now, and here where she's topless on the ski lift, that's not really nature if you're on a ski lift, right?
Well, you got to get to the top of the hill.
Okay. That's how you do it. The calendar, she's done this before. 2 years ago, she did a calendar where she got naked in the Congo to raise awareness for disappearing wildlife. Here she is naked on the back of a hippopotamus.
Look how happy that hippopotamus is. Look
Hippopotamus.
That hippopotamus has the biggest smile on its face. Look at it.
I'd rock her from top to bottomus. Here she is naked on safari. So this is her gimmick. Here she is with a rhino, completely naked, and it looks like they're meditating together. Naked with the giraffe. Here she is naked with a gorilla mask on for some reason. Oh, yeah. No, I would buy this calendar.
Now, I tell you what.
This is art. This isn't...
I got to get back to the zoo.
Uh-huh. That's her... Okay.
Okay.
That's...
That. You don't need to mention that.
There she is naked with a tiny giraffe on her. I don't know what that's
No,
about.
that's a tiny zebra.
Oh, that's a zebra. Okay. Yeah, I guess you're right about that.
Looks like the zebra's about ready to make its way into the forest.
So this is her gimmick. Every year she puts out new calendars where she goes around the globe naked to raise awareness for animals. And this year it's sharks.
Yeah.
Arrested and blacklisted in Egypt for getting naked in front of the pyramids. Yeah, well, she's at it again. Marissa Pappen is her name. Belgian model who's been in Playboy.
Check out the pyramids.
The pyramids is that your favorite of all of these things? Is that your if you had to pick one?
I got to get back to nature.
Number three.
There's a subreddit whose name I can't say on the air, but it's people wondering if they're jerks. They're asking, am I the bad guy in this situation? Mm-hmm. They give you a scenario from their life, and they wonder if maybe they're in the wrong. I think it is helpful if you're wondering, like, should I have done that or should I have not done that? It's helpful to reach out to strangers and get their opinion, and then you either feel better about what you've done or you know that maybe you need to make amends.
Now, typically, anybody who can even have that sort of thought isn't in the wrong.
Right. Because the question is, am I the jerk here? Jerks don't care.
No, jerks don't think that way.
More often than not, yeah.
What are you even talking? A jerk would be like, what are you talking about?
Precisely. So I have three of these that I want your opinion on, Darren, and you too, dear listener. Begin with this one. I am 14 years old, and I live in a small community that consists of elderly people. The youngest person in the neighborhood is my younger brother, who's 10. In Toronto the past few days, it's been snowing, and overall the weather's been horrible. I shoveled our driveway when it was snowing.
There are only old people in Toronto?
That's what it says here. I mean, there's one of those neighborhoods that's just, that happens, where it's just a bunch of old people. Yeah. That happens.
I didn't know that Toronto was a retirement community.
Well, it's not the best.
The Villages.
Yeah, Toronto is the Florida of Canada. You didn't know that?
I didn't know it now.
That happens. You can grow up in a neighborhood where there's just a lot of old people, and then what happens is eventually that neighborhood becomes a neighborhood with a bunch of young people.
It sure does.
14 years old, live in this small community. It's been snowing a lot there in Toronto. Overall, the weather's been horrible. I shoveled our driveway when it was snowing, but the next door neighbor, who's in her 70s, saw me shoveling and came out to ask me to shovel her driveway as well.
Yeah, for how much?
Please keep in mind that her house has a very big driveway, one that you'd normally call a snow shovel truck for. I politely declined, saying I had projects and homework to do, and I couldn't spare the time to shovel her driveway.
I have projects.
I offered to call a shovel truck for her. Shovel truck must be how they say snowplow in Canada, right?
Because she doesn't know how to work a phone?
Well, she's in her 70s. I don't know.
People in their 70s know how to work a phone.
This kid is 14. I offered to call the shovel truck, which I'm guessing that's how they say snowplow up there. I offered to call for her, and she started screaming at me about how young kids should do everything for their elders.
No.
And that I was a waste of space for my parents.
You're not getting shoveled now.
I asked her many times to please distance herself from me as there's a pandemic going on, but she didn't respect my wishes and kept telling me to shovel her driveway.
Stand down, soldier, is what I said.
I eventually snapped and said, I'm not going to shovel your driveway for you. If you want, I can call a shovel truck for you, but I won't spare time just to help you when you're being so rude to me. That's considered snapping in Canada, apparently, saying that. I went back inside shortly after. Another neighbor knocked on my door, telling me I was garbage for not wanting to help an old lady. I tried to explain the situation to him, but he kept interrupting me and told me many hurtful things.
Boy, the news spreads fast.
I'm currently sitting in my room crying and writing this. So am I the jerk here?
No. No, if she should have came out and said, I'll pay you to do it.
Well, I have projects.
Yeah.
There are projects I'm doing.
I'm building a log cabin out of popsicle sticks. And I have to go get more glue.
How is this my issue?
It's not.
Okay, so once again, you're not the bad guy.
No.
Here's a 17-year-old that has a question. To start, I'm 17 and I'm a very big guy, 6'6". Simply being this height puts a burden on not only my physical health, but also my mental health. As my endless being told that I'm too young to have back pain really becomes hurtful after a while. My family decided to have the Thanksgiving feast a few days after actual Thanksgiving because we're not religious and wanted the three relatives coming over to be able to drive here and back home the same day without traffic. Yeah, I had the same problem with this as you did.
We're not religious, so it's okay when we do Thanksgiving.
We do Thanksgiving on Saturday because we're not religious.
Huh?
So, a 17-year-old, big guy, 6'6" with back pain. Every year before this, I have to give my room to my uncle during the visit, which I reluctantly agreed to, as if I ever had a choice. Basically, I have to clean my whole room, put away all my decor. I have like 50 different posters and art pieces to put away.
Some of them are not appropriate.
Change my sheets, put away my Xbox and TV, remove my guitar, bass, and amp, and have the room essentially spotless. This is really annoying to me as he comes for one night and leaves immediately the next morning. So I do all that just to put it right back up. And for what? His pleasure? There's a functional bed, and if you really want it, I'll take down the horror movie posters, but I have to make it into a one-night stay hotel room. On top of that, it means I have to sleep on the couch, which is 5 foot across. And I'm 6'6", so I get no or poor sleep. 3 days before we had our Thanksgiving, my uncle texts and says, hey, I think I'm actually going to be needing to stay the night for Thanksgiving. I don't want to drive in the dark. I get told this the day after and decided that no, this year I'm not giving up my room.
Good for you.
You can go home.
Good for you.
And either we can have dinner earlier so he doesn't have to drive in the dark, or I will drive him home as I just got my license. Both because I don't want to, nor do I have the time to clean out my room, and I have a big test tomorrow. I will not be wasting valuable study time to clean my room for no reason, and I won't be giving up my bed because I need sleep for tomorrow. After this, I got a good long hour lecture about how I need to have respect for my elders and how disappointed they are to see me act so selfishly. Am I the jerk here? I feel like my family's being delusional in the name of tradition, because God forbid my uncle has to see anything that his nephew likes.
No, the kid's okay. Although I'm surprised that he actually mentioned it to his parents. This sounds like the sort of thing that I'm going to complain about it, but I'm going to complain about it to everybody but anyone who can do anything about it.
Growing up, if I had any relatives stay at my house and they were going to get my room, I'm not taking down my posters. I don't like those posters. Please take them down. And get your Xbox and your TV out of the room. It'll keep me up all night just having that in the room.
I can't stand...
I can't sleep in a room with a video game.
This sort of technology scares me.
I can't do... How can I have a television in the room?
First of all, if you're the uncle, you're happy. You're fine with just sleeping on the couch.
Well, is it they must be nightmare parents that have this policy of get everything out of your room so your uncle can sleep. There's a lot more to this story that I want to know. What are you doing?
You can't blame our religion. We have none.
Am I the jerk for confronting my hard of hearing housemates am I the jerk for confronting my hard of hearing housemate about her repeatedly walking in on me in the shower? I'm a 20-year-old guy. I live in a student house with 3 girls and 2 guys. They're all 20 years old. Since moving in, I've been walked in on the shower 3 times, all by the same girl. Every time she uses her partial deafness as an excuse. That was fair enough the first time. The shower is admittedly pretty quiet. But it has since happened 2 more times. The second and third time I suggested she knock in the future. Both times she apologized, saying she forgot. I figured this must have happened to others in the house as well at some point, so I had a chat with them about it, hoping that we could come up with a way to broach the subject without hurting her feelings. They knew nothing about it. Apparently this only happens to me. I found this suspicious, and so did the others.
She can only not hear around you? I'd take that as a compliment.
Half of my housemates agreed that I should confront her about it, while the others told me I should just leave it alone. I was content with leaving it, but then it happened again. And I decided to be more firm when tackling the issue this time. I told her I knew she was doing this on purpose, and I'd like her to stop. She burst into tears and accused me of being disableist.
You're a disableist!
Apparently, I wasn't appreciating her inability to hear the shower running. I responded by telling her I understand that, and I've asked her repeatedly to knock before entering so I can make my presence known to her, something she still refuses to do. I then brought up how I found it odd that this has only ever happened to me and no one else in this house. She was angry and embarrassed that I told the others about it. She insulted me, calling me a perv, and then telling me that my penis was small. She then ran into her room and slammed the door.
Nice dig. That's my favorite part.
The others.
Oh yeah.
Do you think I want to come in here? There's nothing to see. The others heard everything from downstairs. The guys and one of the girls told me I was out of line for bringing them into it and pushing the issue when she started crying. The other girl said I was in the right for defending my right to shower in peace, and the girl who keeps walking in on me needs to have her head examined for the inappropriate way she reacted to being called out. What do you think? Am I the jerk
And that's
here?
no way to talk about my penis.
Hey, listen, I understand you're hard of hearing. You got problems with your eyes, too? So, I think we're 3 for 3 here.
That's
That
just
you're
the best.
You're not the jerk, right? how hard is it to knock before you come into any room?
Or just always
hard of hearing
I
or
mean,
not.
if you're living with 5 other people or 6 other people and it's a community bathroom and shower,
Right.
you just have to assume it's always being used.
Right. Yeah, this
By the way, your junk is small.
One more. People wondering if they're in the wrong. Am I the jerk here? My wife and I have been married for around 2 years now. It's went well with no real problems that I know of. Since the pandemic.
Sounds like real love.
Since the pandemic, we haven't went out much at all. We're both at the house almost 24/7. Because of this, we don't really dress up much or anything like that. Even though I don't dress up or really go out, I still like to keep myself groomed the best I can.
Here we go.
I shower every day and still shave and all that.
Here we go.
She, on the other hand, does not at all. Ever since we've been staying at home more, she hardly ever showers or does any grooming. I'd say at the most she showers twice a week. Recently, it's been closer to 1 shower a week. We haven't worked out much or done a lot to sweat, but still,
No.
She doesn't really wash anywhere that I know of.
I mean, anywhere.
Not only that, but she's gotten pretty gross altogether. She hasn't shaved anywhere. This one is more understandable to me. I know I'm not able to control how she looks, and if she wants to grow her hair out everywhere, then she's welcome to. But she just looks completely different. She even has
This is not the woman I married.
she even has a bit of facial hair.
Great.
This is really crazy to me because before she was completely shaven everywhere and always dressed up and clean.
Uh-huh.
I tried to let this go for a while, but the other week I finally decided I needed to bring it up. And I asked if there was something wrong. She said no. And I kept asking, and she promised that there wasn't. She said she wasn't depressed or anything like that, and I decided to drop it then. Well, recently, I've been having trouble going to sleep because of her smell.
Oh, no.
Our sex life has been ruined as well from it. I would think she could tell, but she hasn't said anything about it. I finally told her that I needed to talk to her, and I said I can't handle her smell anymore, and she needed to do something about it. She looked upset, told me it wasn't my right to tell her what to do with her body.
And said my penis was small.
I understood that, I said. But if she wants to keep that up, she's either going to need to sleep on the couch or go stay with her parents. She started sobbing and ran out of the room. Since then, she's barely spoken to me and won't come close to me. I haven't apologized yet because I don't feel I'm in the wrong. Am I being the jerk here?
Hit the showers, pal.
What you need is a hard of hearing roommate. That'll fix all your problems. They really know how to appreciate a fella. To a point.
Hey, Pigpen. How about you take a shower?
Well, is this guy in the wrong? Is this guy the jerk here?
No.
All right, 4 for 4. Once again, this entire subreddit is people who are in the right and just want some confirmation.
If you question that whether or not you're a jerk, you're not a jerk, typically.
There are every once in a while people that
Typically.
clearly are jerks and
I don't
want
want-
you to tell them they're not jerks.
I don't want to make a blanket statement.
Yeah. But those are...
You think I stink? Your penis is small.
Four.
We shared a story earlier this week about the IRS admitting that they sent a lot of $1,200 coronavirus stimulus checks out to people who are not Americans.
To people in other countries.
Yeah. One guy left America and renounced his citizenship in the 60s. Like before the Vietnam War. He was upset about JFK getting assassinated. And he left America in the 60s to go live in Australia. He renounced his citizenship here. And then there was a check in the mail for him for $1,200.
And he kept it.
And he's pretty thrilled with it, too. Van Shockley says we're not getting that money back.
A woman in Sweden also received a $1,200 check because she had worked in the States at one time. She was never a citizen of the United States, but she had worked here for a period. She received a check, and she was not going to keep it or cash it because she thought that it needed to go to people in the United States that really needed it.
Yeah. The IRS saying that they admit that they sent a lot of money overseas to people who are not even Americans and didn't deserve the money. And they're also saying that if there's another round, they're probably going to do it again because there's just no way to know, is what they were saying. No way to figure out who's an American and who's a non-American.
You would think you could figure that out.
Yeah, you'd think there would be some sort of record of that sort of thing if you're the IRS, for crying out loud. We told you at the end of that story, when we concluded the story, we told you, and I think so far you've done a good job of this. It's good to know that you can count on us and we can count on you. We asked you, do not tell Amazing Larry the story of these foreigners getting these $1,200 checks for nothing.
Has he found out?
He has not, to the best of my knowledge. He has not found out. I have another story here that it is very important we don't share with Larry.
All right.
If you want him to back on the show, and right now it looks like our target is in the new year.
Right.
Larry will be joining us again on Fridays. If you want him to be well enough to perform, we have to all pinky promise that we won't tell Larry this story, because it could drive him to snapping like Pat Sajak.
I know there's... I'm going to leave that alone. Go ahead.
City officials in San Francisco have banned all tobacco smoking inside apartments. If you have an apartment, you cannot legally smoke a cigarette inside your apartment.
Now, Larry is grandfathered in. Or so he says.
Raji!
Or that's what he says.
He's grandfathered in to the anti-smoking law that just got passed in San Francisco.
Or anywhere.
No, they grandfathered me in. I'll be fine. I don't think that's true.
Don't tell him.
If you have an apartment, you may not now smoke in San Francisco in your apartment. Board of Supervisors on Tuesday voted 10-1 to approve this ordinance, making San Francisco the largest city in America to ban tobacco smoking inside apartments. The original proposal sought to ban residents from smoking cigarettes and marijuana in their apartments.
Whoa.
But see, that's where things get tricky, because your apartment is really the only place you can smoke marijuana. You would be taking away the only legal place to smoke, because in California, it's legal under state law to smoke cannabis, or illegal to smoke cannabis in a public place, right? You have to do it at your place.
Right.
Unlike tobacco smokers who could still leave their apartments and step out to the curb or smoke in other permitted outdoor smoking areas, cannabis users would have, it says here, no such legal alternative. So if you want to smoke a joint, you're okay. But if it's tobacco, then you can't.
Smoke weed every day.
Department of Public Health will now be responsible for enforcing the new law. Under the ordinance, the department must first try to educate violators and help smokers quit. So if you light up a square, you got a heater going in your apartment. There's a gentle rapping at the door from the smoke police. And first they're going to say, hey, man,
now that
no
would,
smoking.
That would be Larry's dream job.
Smoke police?
Yeah. Because guess what he gets to do?
Confiscate all the cigarettes.
Raji!
Larry, did you burn that contraband? I burned it all right. One at a time.
Right.
My orders were to burn the contraband. That's what I did.
You know what they say.
And all this.
Larry's always got the best cigarettes. Or the most.
So he's just sitting on a pile of them.
Smoke police.
Open up. It's the smoke police.
There's a public service announcement by Amazing Larry. If anybody has any smoke, let your friends know, because nobody can find it. Everybody is jonesing and about going crazy. So, this has been a public service announcement by Amazing Larry.
Smoke police. He's pulling people over smoking in their cars, even though that's not technically illegal.
He's just blaring Cheap Trick's Dream Police, but he's changed the words.
The smoke police, they follow me to my bed. Pull over.
The smoke police, no smoking in your bed.
This is what you get when you mess with us, smoke police. So first
Police.
First, they have to educate you, then they have to help you quit. Now, I don't know that Larry would be the best person for that message.
No, I don't know that he can show you how to quit outside of just taking your smokes.
Quit nothing. I quit and then I have another one. I light one right on top of another one.
These bar owners are hurting.
Yeah, they are. If you continue to smoke in your apartment and the smoke police catch you doing it, repeat offenders could be, it says here, subject to a fine of $1,000 a day.
Oof.
However, they cannot evict you for a smoking violation. This ordinance has to pass a second vote of the board next week, and then the mayor has to sign off on it. Once that happens, then the law would go in effect 30 days later. So by the end of January, you can't smoke in your apartment. Now, do you think people in San Francisco that are smokers that live in apartments are just like stress smoking?
Yes, I suppose so.
You only have so much time. Like when they passed the ordinance on the Illinois side of the river was the first side where you couldn't smoke in bars anymore, right? And then Iowa eventually adopted that rule as well. It seemed like the week before the ordinances went on both sides of the river, it seemed like a lot more smoke was going on.
Are there any states that still allow smoking?
I think Missouri still does.
Can you?
Yeah,
I know Indiana you could years ago still.
And it's strange how quickly not smoking in bars becomes normalized. So when you're out of state and you're at a restaurant, somebody fires one up. And
it was
like,
bizarre.
What is going on here?
Yeah, it was strange. And now having said that was over 10 years ago.
Right.
That I was in Indiana and you could smoke in a bar or a restaurant.
You can still smoke in Florida.
Natch.
You can still smoke in Idaho, Louisiana, Florida, and Indiana.
In Indiana.
Although not in restaurants. All four of those states, Idaho, Louisiana, Florida, and Indiana, you cannot smoke in restaurants, but you can smoke in bars.
And casinos, I suppose.
Well, yeah, you can still smoke in casinos on both sides of the river here, too, can't you?
I think so.
I don't think they allow smoking at Jumer's, but I don't think that's a state law. I think that's a decision that the people at Jumer's made.
The company.
Yeah. So, again,
don't tell
Larry about this because we'll lose him to the smoke police.
Right.
Is that what you want? You want him to go?
It's his dream job.
Five. Number 5.
In just a minute here, we're going to be joined by an absolute legend, a comic legend, one of the most respected comedians in America, indeed the world. And he's respected because the man is hilarious. George Wallace, you're familiar with him. He's easily one of the funniest guys in the world and certainly a must follow on Twitter. And he must have had this thought, I'm doing all of these jokes for free on Twitter. Why wouldn't I monetize this and capture what I've given away for free, put it in a book, and then people will buy the book? Why give away the jokes for free?
Or as opposed to sitting down and writing new material, it's like, wait a minute. I've been writing new material each and every day.
Right, but he does. That's the thing, and that's why he's such a great follower. There's always new material on the Twitter. Is Mr. Wallace with us now?
I just happened to be with you guys. I was just dialing around. I'm on TuneIn, and I can hear every radio station around the world.
Oh, that's
and I just
awesome.
said, tune in on these guys they're talking about. Are they talking about bull twit? Bull twit. I'm so full of twit that I couldn't say what I wanted to say, so I said I'm going to call the book Bull Twit and Whatnot. And whatnot. And I want everybody to know you can go online and get this book at georgewallace.net. I didn't do Amazon this time because Amazon takes all your money. That's why Jeff Bezos is so rich. So you go straight to georgewallace.net, get the book, and the site is crashing, unfortunately. It's going crazy. Today is the first day I only have one book in my possession. But this book is going crazy. The online ramblings of George Wallace, talking about how poor I was when I grew up. I was so poor that I never knew about Gladys. All we could listen to was the Pips. I never knew that we were just flat out poor. Talking about things that I don't play by the rules. I'll eat cupcakes out of a pan and pancakes out of a cup. I don't care. I do things differently, okay? I don't play by the rules. I take a refrigerator magnet and place it right on the oven. I don't care. You understand what I'm saying?
Sorry.
I'll pick my tooth with an ice pick and ice with a toothpick. I don't give a damn. So all of these ramblings are in the book, Bull Twit. Go to georgewallace.net, Bull Twit. And the foreword is written by a funny man, Patton Oswalt.
Pat, yeah, you mentioned that. Patton Oswalt wrote the foreword. I imagine there were probably hundreds of people that would have jumped to the chance to write the foreword of the book, because you are one of those comics that absolutely everyone in the business just adores and respects.
I apologize that you mentioned hundreds of people. Do you know my best friend is Jerry Seinfeld for 45 years, right?
Yes.
He called me yesterday. He's pissed at me because he did not write the foreword of the book. I said to him, I was with Patton, we were doing a show, and Patton insisted that he write the foreword of the book. So that's how that happened. But Seinfeld is ticked at me because he didn't write the foreword of the book, and it's a fun book, georgewallace.net, and I hope you'll get it. You know what? The quality of the book is so good. I apologize that you guys don't have the book. Normally, you send the book to your host, and they have a book in their possession.
Sure.
But today, I got the first book right now. I've got the first book because of COVID. The books are sent to my office, and I'm in Atlanta right now. So, but I thank you guys for taking the call and talking about Bull Twit and having my little ramblings and jokes on. I really appreciate you guys very much.
I mean, I feel like I've already read the book because I've been following you for years. Do you find that you use Twitter as a way to kind of workshop jokes? Like if you get a big reaction on Twitter, if people really laugh at something, do you then incorporate that into your live act, or is this just a way for you to blow off some steam?
It's just a way for me to blow off some steam, but sometimes I'll get a tweet, a reply that throws me for a loop. Like I had a tweet once, shout out to the top 5 pans in the world, like Peter Pan, a Flash Out of the Pan, Pandemic, Pan American World Airways. And one of my replies was, how about Mugu Guy? I thought that was fantastic. So the replies are just great. Isn't that wonderful? The replies are what is most fun, and that's what the book is all about. So go online at Mr. George Wallace. Follow me at Mr. George Wallace. But most of all, get this book. It's a quality book, and it will last forever. And it's a very expensive book. It's an expensive book. So this is going to be the greatest gift you can put under your table. You ever get a flimsy book? This is a book you will always be able to laugh at and have some fun.
When you're doing live shows and you do a joke or you do an observation that doesn't work, how do you respond to that?
Say that again. That's what I love to do. Oh, my God, I love that. I walk out on stage every night with a legal, I've been doing this for 45 years, with a yellow legal pad. And I start off, these are some new jokes that might work, they may not work. I don't know. I don't give a damn. I'm doing these new jokes. And I actually did it on Jay Leno one night. And I said, I got to do these jokes on Letterman next week. I got to make sure these jokes work. So I would do the joke. Joke worked real good. Real funny. Real good. I'll do joke number 2. Joke worked real good. Joke number 3 needs work. Okay, then I'll do another joke. Joke number 4. Joke's funny. Audience sucks. They go crazy. They love it. If the joke doesn't work, it's funnier. It's just great. Needs work. They love it. So I love doing these jokes and having fun with the audience. And just being blessed to do this for 45 years, I have a passion for so many people don't do what they like doing. I love going to work every night. All I do is lie. I just lie. I make up stuff. I just love lying. I just can't stop lying, and they pay me.
Comedian
like
George
Trump.
Wallace. The book is Bull Twit. I'm hoping this is volume 1 in a long series. Really appreciate your time, sir. Good luck with the book. And again, the website to get it is MrGeorgeWallace.com.
GeorgeWallace.net.
.net.
I love you.
Perfect. Thanks, Mr. Wallace.
I love you, and there's absolutely nothing. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Thank you, George Wallace, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Dave and Darren Show. How about that? That's a legend right there. You remember from Seinfeld, the Witch A Woman episode?
Yes.
When he gets distracted, he's the doctor that gets distracted. And he mentioned it. I wasn't going to because I'm sure he gets asked about it all the time. But yeah, Jerry Seinfeld's like his best friend in the whole wide
I
world.
wonder how many weeks in a normal year, how many weeks he spends in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was going to be the mayor there, He was going to run for mayor. He's got a...
You build your own home when you're in Vegas that much,
Well, you
right?
do when you're George Wallace,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's got a pretty nice setup. He spends a lot of time in Atlanta, but this...
Yeah, you don't just stay in the hotel room.
No, that's... No. He's not hanging out at the Super 8.
All over, Rock? I guess so. I didn't think it'd be like this.
Well, there you go. That was Dave and Darren's Top 5 Things podcast. Thanks so much for downloading it and subscribing to it and leaving a review and listening to it. Gosh, it seems like you guys are the ones doing all the work, and Darren and I are having all the fun.
Don't tell him.
This whole thing has been exposed.
You just blew it. The podcast is brought to you by
Everybody delete this episode immediately.
Nature's Treatment
You know too much.
of Illinois. Their goal is to fully understand their clients' needs physically, mentally, and emotionally because they know it's not easy to live with a chronic illness. Their experienced wellness consultants will sit down with you and discuss what options are going to work best to make you feel more comfortable. Frequently asked questions are answered at the website. That is ntillinois.com.
Till we get a chance to do it for you again, hang loose, kooks.
You stay classy and safe, Quad Cities.
Come on, Quad Cities, representing. This is for the Quad Cities record spot. Davenport, yeah, we keeping it locked. Rock out, come on, and it just don't stop. East Moline, yeah, they keeping it hot.
And that's it. The game's over, okay? The game's over. Let the new games begin.